So I got a really cool, very long-winded question. His name is Ryan. This was the question. I thought if Ryan had these questions, I'm willing to bet so many other agents have the same question. Hey Sebastian, to be honest, I can't even remember how I stumbled across your Facebook page, but I started watching your vid. Then that evolved into watching Gary Vaynerchuk, which evolved into buying his books, which evolved into etc. etc. Well, that's actually interesting you say that, because I am willing to bet if you're like most of the viewers, I targeted you on Facebook. And I try out different things with targeting. And of course, my audience, I think my phone's ringing. It's my team member, Lisa. What was I saying? Oh, that's right. I targeted you via Facebook ads. Just like I target buyers and sellers in my city through Facebook targeting, I also do experiments and I target real estate agents to see who is going to jive most with the content that I produce. So I'm willing to bet, now it could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet that you came across my videos through me targeting you on Facebook ads. So let's continue. Anyway, I love what you're doing. I have been a realtor for about 3 years, and when I started, I was following a guy in Vancouver named Ian Watt. Google him. He's very similar in terms of style, but a little less informative from a how-to standpoint. There's nothing wrong with my fingers. I'm doing a quote because he put quotes in his paragraph. It's not because I don't know what to do with my hands. I did Google Ian Watt, and you know what I found? Ian Watt.
My name's Ian Watt, and if you have any questions, you can always email me at ianwatt@ianwatt.ca. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Actually, it's interesting because if you go back to my first video, vlog number 1, I don't even know what number we're on, but vlog number 1, I actually said that Gary Vaynerchuk was an inspiration to me amongst other people. Ian Watt was actually one of those people. When I knew that I had to do something different in my business to rebuild myself, I needed some inspiration. And the two people that I went to, my go-to people, was Gary Vaynerchuk and Ian Watt. And so, yes, I'm a big fan of Ian Watt. I love what he's done with video. He's like a pioneer of video, and I started following him. And my first videos, I actually pulled out my video camera. I went in my car and I set the camera in front of me and I blew chunks. I mean, I was horrible. I took probably about 30 or 40 takes. By then, I was hot in the car. I was frustrated. My face was all red because I was repeating myself and I kept fumbling my words. It was the most horrible video I have ever made. I'm kind of sad that I deleted all my old videos because I would have loved to have them on file. So I actually tried to emulate what Ian Watt was doing back then. And of course it evolved into this, and I take my camera out so you can see how video kind of evolves. But yes, I know Ian Watt very well. Anyway, I really want to head in that media company direction. And my takeaway from you guys like Vaynerchuk are to 1, put out content, and 2, make sure it has a value to the end user. I am trying to do that, but man, I am really struggling to find things to report on. How do you come up with content ideas? I'm trying to document my journey, as Gary always says, but it's been a slow go. So your question here is, how do you come up with content? And being in this business for 3 years, I'm sure you have come across at least 100 questions that buyers or sellers have. I went online, I see that you're in business with your dad. Talk to him. Just say, what are the biggest frustrations your clients have gone through? And then you just start writing down his answers because he obviously has more experience. And of course, yourself, think about your clients and just start writing down questions. Each one of those questions is a video. But how do I specifically? Well, I try to put out 1 video per week in the real estate world. One of them is a monthly market update. So that leaves me with 3 weeks. And I try to see what's going on with the government. I try to see what people are talking about online. I try to see what the newspapers are writing about. So scour the newspapers, print off an article, and create a vlog about that article. Because what you're doing is you're putting in your 2 cents and you're saying, well, this is my opinion about what's happening. So ideas are endless. You just really have to think outside the box. I'm scared that I'm not giving enough value and so people won't care. And I'm trying to make the videos fun, trendy music, etc. I get it. But I'm not seasoned enough to shoot how-to videos like you are. But I want to shoot videos people will connect to and find useful without being extremely boring. I went on YouTube and I watched a couple of your videos. I don't think they're boring. I think you really underestimate yourself. You've got a great vibe on video. You're young still. And from what I've seen, you're doing better than 90% of the agents out there. So seriously, Ryan, don't cut yourself short because you're doing incredible. You speak very well on camera. You get your message across. You don't have to be crazy and outrageous and outgoing like you see some of these guys. Be you. And there's nothing wrong with you. So that statement, I don't think you're boring at all. I think you have exactly what it takes. Once you make enough videos, always watch yourself back because as you're editing the videos and you're watching yourself back, you know what to tweak next time and you will get better just through self-coaching. I've mentioned in my other videos that I'm a huge believer in self-coaching and I do that all the time. So I don't think you suck. I don't think you're boring at all. I think you completely underestimate yourself. And I think you can shoot how-to videos. I really do. I don't agree with you on this one. How's that? I don't agree because I do think you're good enough. I really do. I've seen your stuff on YouTube. Good job. I find that when I start talking about stats in my vids, I watch them back and just think they are incredibly dry and mundane. I thought about interviewing people as per Gary Vee and haven't gotten there yet. Yes, you are 100% right. Reporting statistics can be dull, it can be boring, it can be mundane. If you want to check out my website, my real estate website, I have a couple different websites, but my real estate website, burlingtonhomes.com, I do a monthly market update with a team member, Lisa, and check out what we do. Sometimes they're 5 minutes long, sometimes they're 20 minutes long, and it's very conversational. And we get emails back from people saying, wow, you guys provide great content. So you don't have to be outrageous or magical or anything like that. People that are interested in what the market is doing, they will watch the content. Again, go back to self-coaching. Try one, put it out there, watch yourself. What can I improve on? Can I do something slightly different? And build on that because yes, they can be dry. Yes, it can be boring. So I guess my question is, if you had only been in business for a short time, would you approach your videos differently? And if yes, how? Yes. Well, yes and no, because I mean, I had to learn the hard way, but if I were to do it all over again, I would approach it differently. I would do back then what I'm doing today. And that is always trying to make your content better. I started reviewing a lot more newspaper articles, so I would print stuff from online, Globe and Mail, look around for your local newspapers in Vancouver, in Richmond, pull out anything that has to do with real estate. You see these shows on TV all the time where something's happening, big news is happening, but you make news out of news, if that makes sense. So you give your input into what's happening and automatically people will start looking to you for your advice because now you're the expert that is commenting on something that's happening. So I would have done a lot more of that back then. And also what I'm doing more of now is I'm interviewing local businesses. I've done it every now and then because it is a lot more scary because you have to go out there and connect with business owners. You have to make the connections and you're essentially creating a short commercial for them with video. So I would have done a lot more of that. So if I could just tell you to do 2 things, try those 2 things. There are many things, but if I were to look back, I would have done a lot more of that. And the reason I would do more business interviews is because it allows you to grow your database of relationships. And like Tim Ferriss says your network is your net worth. And I didn't understand that for the longest time. I thought all I had to do is put out content and magically somehow people are going to show up. Yes, that does work, but there is so much more happening behind the scenes that I think most people don't understand, and that is also building your network. So do that. I live just outside Vancouver, and honestly, almost no realtors except for Ian and a couple of others do daily vlogs or videos, and I think I can really jump into it and stand out. I've been MC of 5 weddings over the last 2 years, and many of those weddings I have asked to be MC at the next one just from people in crowds loving my jokes. So I guess people think I'm funny, interesting, or something. I don't fully know yet. I can see that. I mean, like I said, don't shortchange yourself, because I see there's a lot happening that you're not showing on video. And I can see that in you. I can see it in your eyes. You're not yourself on video yet, but you're still young and you still have a lot to learn about video. But I can see that you are so much more than your videos. So it doesn't surprise me that people are asking you to be MC. Think about how you are when you're being an MC. It's okay to joke around on videos. It really is, as long as you're not making the entire video into a joke, because people love humor. So when you use humor in your videos to set up a scene or something, people will like that. And Lisa's my team member, and when we shoot video, like I said, go to burlingtonhomes.com, you'll see the types of videos that we shoot. We use humor. We make fun of the government. We make fun of what's happening out there. So just be you. You're gonna do great. I really do. I've seen your videos. You're gonna be just fine. And especially because nobody else is doing that in your marketplace, you can really create a mini monopoly and be that guy on video. So just go out there and start creating content. Any advice would be appreciated. I see we have a couple of mutual friends in common too, which is cool. Thanks, I'm a fan of yours and your approach, and I wish you all the best. Any tips would be very welcome. The number one thing when it comes to producing content and creating video is self-coaching. And I've spoken about that in my previous videos. You just have to start, watch your video, and improve the little things. Don't shortchange yourself. And I think we tend to do that because sitting in front of a video camera is a freaky thing sometimes, because right now I'm sitting in a room, I'm in my office, and I'm talking to you, but it's not really you. Like, I'm talking to a piece of plastic and a lens. I mean, I see glass and I see myself over here in the reflection, and it's kind of weird. I'm sitting in a room and my family is just like having dinner in the kitchen. So it can be a little weird, but you just have to kind of get used to it. And when you do things outside of your comfort zone that other people are not willing to do, you're gonna kill it. That's the bottom line. Do what other people are not willing to do and you'll be just fine. And when you get used to doing video, it really isn't that scary. And I know you could do it. So that would be advice. The second advice that I've already given you is interview local businesses, because they will be part of your network. In my last video, I did platforms and distribution channels. And I gave the concept. If you haven't watched my last video, go back and watch it, because I talk about the book, Platform Revolution, but I want to specifically talk about not the platforms, but the distribution channels. Because when you are producing your content, and I'm in the middle of writing a book, for example, and a book is actually a great message to send out to people. This book has been started truthfully years ago, but I'm really going back to do it. For example, let's say you have a book. Well, once you do enough of these interviews with local mom and pop shops, entrepreneurs, leaders in your town, in your city, then what's going to happen is these people want to reciprocate. The law of reciprocity states that when somebody does something nice for you, you naturally want to do something nice for them. So these people will be your distribution channel. So when you have books, you can call them up and say, listen, I'm an author now. I have written an actual book all about real estate. Would you mind if I gave you 2, 3, 4, 5 copies? And you think they're going to say no? Maybe some will. Maybe, I mean, there are a lot of takers out there. They're just going to take, and they'll never give. but we don't worry about these people. Create great relationships, and when you let's say you write a book or you have a newsletter that you want them to help you distribute, most of the time they'll be more than happy to do that and refer you, so they will become part of your distribution channel. I hope that helps. I know I probably rambled on way too much. Keep up the good work, man. You're doing fine on YouTube. Don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're kicking ass. Good job.
All hung up on imaginary problems. You gotta focus on what's real, man.